example today we are going to discuss is mainly focused on normal loss and abnormal loss. So what is normal loss and what is abnormal loss? These things we have already discussed, and you know the concept of this. You have already learned in your other subject like compulsory accountancy and all that. Normal loss means what? The loss which is arise or which come into existence due to natural causes. કુદરતી કારણોસર જે થાય. An abnormal loss is due to carelessness of the human beings. That is called abnormalness. In this chapter, in this example, we will learn then what is the process or what is the accounting process of normal loss and abnormal loss while you preparing the process account. How it is recorded in the process accounts and how we prepare the normal loss and abnormal loss accounts. That things we will learn in this particular lecture. This lecture is mainly focused on this. Here, how to give the accounting treatment of normal loss and abnormal loss in process accounting, right? So in the previous lecture, we have discussed how the material or finished goods of one process is transferred to the next process, right? And what are the simple procedure that we have learned. And today we will discuss how to determine the normal loss and abnormal loss and how it is recorded in the process accounts, right? So here it is the example. Let's read the example carefully. Product X is obtained after it processed through the three distinct processes. Okay, the following cost information is available for the operation. Three processes are there: material and direct wages and production overheads are given to you. So this is 500 units at rupees 4 per unit, the unit introduced, and then after these are the other things. Normal loss percentage are given, and I told that uh, when in the example normal loss percentage are given and normal loss is given, then and then abnormal loss is possible. Means the possibility of normal loss, abnormal loss or abnormal gain is based on, is depend on the percentage of normal loss is given. If normal loss is not there, there is no any possibility of abnormal, right? Normal હોય તો જ abnormal આવશે. So normal loss ને abnormal loss નો example છે એવું કેવી રીતે recognize થાય? So when the normal loss percentage are given, then it is possibility that there is a abnormal loss or gain. So abnormal loss के gain હશે. જો example માં normal loss के હોય જ નહીં, તો abnormal નો તો કોઈ question જ આવશે નહીં. So abnormal loss or abnormal gain is depend on the normal loss percentage. Yeah, normal loss is given in the example. Normal loss means what? Normal loss which is arise due to the normal activity or due to the expected loss in the process on the basis of your past experience. જૂના experience ઉપરથી ખબર પડે કે ભાઈ આટલા ટકા તો loss જાય જ છે એમ. So that is normal loss, expected loss. And abnormal loss which is not expected. If your loss is more than normal, that is called abnormal. Or if you are producing good product, means your loss is less than the normal, then it is called abnormal gain. Then abnormal gain issue. So let's see how to calculate abnormal gain and abnormal loss in this example, right? Solution of it. So as usual, we are required to prepare the process accounts. Yeah, accounts બનાવવાના હોય છે to determine the cost. So how to prepare the cost? It means process cost accounts. So process 1 account, process 2 account, and process 3 accounts, right? And each side there are three columns, 3 column credit side and 3 column debit side. So 3 and 3 6 columns and number of rows. So here we prepare a process 1 account. So this is the format of process costing, process account. Process account નું આ રીતનું તમારું format રહેશે. Okay, first of all, we need to put the input. So input are given here. This is 500 units at the rate 4 per unit were introduced in process 1, right? So that will shown on the debit side of the process account. 2 material input, right? How many number of unit you have introduced? 500 units. and at rupees 4, so how many rupees is there? 2000. Correct? 4 રૂપિયા પ્રમાણે 2000 રૂપિયા થાય કે ના થાય? Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now, then after on the debit side, once again, 2 material, additional material that is taken from here. This is process 1, material, direct wages and production overhead. These 3 expenses, and all expenses are debit. So material 2600, and that will shown in the amount column only. Okay, not in the unit column. Unit introduced is over, then this is unit introduced. Okay, material input or unit input we can say, right? Material, it is units input. Here unit input is 500, then material 2600, and 2 wages. Wages is how much? Here 2250, and production overhead is also 2250. So 2250, and production overheads to production overheads, that is also 2250. Okay, so these are the expenses you have shown on the debit side. And then after on credit side, what you are showing, what you shown? So credit side, first of all, is shown by normal loss. And what is the percentage of normal loss given to you? So normal loss in the first process is 10% of input. So 10% of 500. So what is the amount? 10% of 500. It is 50.
50.
And scrap value is given 2 rupees per unit. So 50 into 2. The amount is 100. Okay. So these are the procedure to recording the entries. And now in the additional information, he said that at the end of the process 1, there is an output of 450 units. There is an output of 450 units. So output of 450 units, that means what? You get the finished goods. Okay, and that will transfer to the next process. So here by process 2 account, this is the output of first process, and 450 units. 450 units. Here, an amount is not given. Amount is not given. And there is no any additional information is remained regarding this process. And now we complete this process. What happened when we complete this process, right? So first we need to close the unit column, and in the unit column the total is 500, and this side total is also 500. If total are same, that means there is no abnormal loss or no abnormal gain. Means your production is as per your expectation, as per your as per your budget, or as you decided before, right? Means your prediction, your estimation is that you will input 500 units and 10% will loss, and 450 will be output. So there is no any abnormal loss here, and there is no any abnormal gain here. Abnormal loss का तो abnormal gain कશું અહીંયા છે नहीं, and that's why we need not to prepare any such kind of account here. Clear? Okay. Now the question is how to find out the amount here against this 450. So in this example it is very easy. Now make the total of this. Okay, debit side amount total करिए. How much?
9,100.
9,100. So 9,100, and the same 9,100 put on credit side. And if you put the 9,100 on credit side, then what is the difference here?
9,000.
And that will be shown again. That is 9,000. Correct? 9,000. Okay. This is the missing figure. So what is your cost per unit? The cost per unit is 9,000 divided by 450. So we can write in inner column, cost per unit is, find out the answer. 900 divided by 9000 divided by 450. 9000 divided by 450. Your answer is rupees 20.
20.
Yes, sir.
20. Okay. So this is if you want to show this 20 rupees calculation in additional working note, you can show, right? Not necessary then you have to have to be shown in the process account. તમારા પ્રોસેસ એકાઉન્ટમાં જ બતાવવું એવું કોઈ જરૂરી છે નહીં. તમે નીચે બતાવવા માંગતા હોય તો નીચે વર્કિંગ નોટમાં બી બતાવી શકો છો. ક્લિયર? આ તમારું પહેલું પ્રોસેસ એકાઉન્ટ પૂરું થઈ ગયું અને પહેલા પ્રોસેસ એકાઉન્ટની અંદર કોઈ એબનોર્મલ લોસ કાં તો એબનોર્મલ ગેઇન આવ્યું નહીં. ઇટ્સ અ very simple example. એકદમ સિમ્પલ એક્ઝામ્પલ આ તમારો થયો. હોપ સો કે આ એક્ઝામ્પલ બરાબર સમજાઈ ગયું છે. કોઈને આમાં ક્વેશ્ચન ઉભો થતો નહીં હોય. Do you have any question in this? Hope so. No. Right? Okay. Now we go for the next process that is called process 2 account. Okay. So in the same way, we are required to prepare one more process account that is called process 2 account. Now this process 2 account is ready. So first of all, we transfer the goods from process 1. Okay. So here we write on the debit side to process 1 account, and that amount means number of unit is 450 and the amount is 9000. Very simple. Okay. Then after the material and wages and production overheads as above, this is shown on the debit side. ઉપરની જેમ જ debit side બતાવીશું. Clear? And what is the amount of material? Let's see here. Material is 2000 and 3680. So here we write 3000 and 2000, not 3000. 2000 and 3680 and 3680. Correct? Okay. Now normal loss. So what is the normal loss? Mentioned here 20% of input. So here we write by normal loss account. By normal loss account. What is the amount? Normal loss 20% of 450. 450 na 20% kariye. It's 90. Correct? And 4 rupees is the scrap value. So 90 into 4. What is the amount? 90 into 4. 360. 360. Very nice. And by process 3 account, the finished goods which is transferred to next process, and that amount is here 340 units. 340 units. So here I write 340 units. Clear? Okay. So these are the information I just set in the process accounts. Now we close the unit column first. This side total is 450 and this side total is not 450. You can see અહીંયા total 450 થતું નથી. થાય છે? Okay. And if not, then what is the balance? What is the missing figure?
20.
Abnormal.
20. 20 is the missing figure. And if the missing figure on credit side, mind well, that will be considered as abnormal loss. That will be considered as abnormal loss. Why it is considered as abnormal loss? Because here loss is more than your expectation. Your expectation is 450 is your input and 90 is loss, or if 90 is loss, then 360 should be output. But instead of 360, your actual output is 340. That means 20 units more units are lost, and that loss is known as abnormal loss. ટૂંકમાં એવું કહી શકીએ કે ક્રેડિટ સાઇડ ખૂટે આ બધું મૂક્યા પછી તેને એબનોર્મલ લોસ કહેવાય. તો બાય એબનોર્મલ લોસ એને એબનોર્મલ લોસનું નામ આપીશું. નવ આપણી પાસે આ બે રકમની સામે એબનોર્મલની સામે અને પ્રોસેસ 3 ની સામે રકમ લાવવાની છે. એન્ડ માઇન્ડ વેલ પર યુનિટ ઇઝ રિમેન સેમ. એનું પર યુનિટ સેમ જ આવશે એન્ડ ધેટ વી આર રિક્વાયર્ડ ટુ બી કેલ્ક્યુલેટ. એ આપણે અહીંયા કેલ્ક્યુલેટ કરવું પડશે. એટલે તો કેવી રીતે કેલ્ક્યુલેટ કરીશું? એ નીચે લખીશું કોસ્ટ પર યુનિટ. કોસ્ટ પર યુનિટ. હાઉ ટુ કેલ્ક્યુલેટ કોસ્ટ પર યુનિટ? તો કોસ્ટ પર યુનિટ નું ફોર્મ્યુલા છે નોર્મલ કોસ્ટ divided by normal cost divided by normal production. Normal cost divided by normal production. So normal cost means what? Normal cost means total of this debit side and minus total of this credit side. And credit side there is only one amount, that is 360. It's called a realization of normal loss. So what is the total of debit side? And if the normal loss is there, you can put the total also here. તમે અહીંયા total મૂકી બી શકો છો. ચલો આનું total કરો તો
18,360.
18,360. 18,360. So sorry, here no, 60 mentioned 60. 18,360. And here we can write 18,360. That means total of debit side minus the total of credit side, or we can say realization value of normal loss. Okay. Divided by normal production. Normal production, that means your input 450 units minus normal loss is 90. Okay, means in the numerator not realization means the value of normal loss is deducted, and in denominator unit of normal loss is deducted. So normal losses in short બંને બાજુથી માઇનસ થાય છે. રૂપીસ માંથી રૂપીસ માઇનસ થાય અને યુનિટ માંથી યુનિટ માઇનસ થાય છે. અને finally what happened? 18,360 minus 360. Your answer is 18,000 divided by 450 minus 90. What is the amount? 360, I think. 360. And finally, what the answer is? Rupees. What your answer is?
50.
50. Rupees 50 per unit. 50 રૂપિયા per unit ની cost બને છે. 50 રૂપિયા ની cost બને છે. And that will utilize here at the rate 50. Correct? At the rate 50. Same here at the rate 50. 50 રૂપિયા પ્રમાણે લખવાનું. ક્લિયર? તો 50 સાથે મલ્ટીપ્લાય કરો તો 20 into 50,000
Yes.
and 340 into 50,
17,000.
17,000. And now make the total 18,360. Correct? And here your process 2 account is completed. Clear? But in this process 2 account there is an abnormal loss, and we are required to prepare not only the process account but also abnormal loss or abnormal gain account. So here abnormal loss is there. That's why we need to prepare one more account in the process as far as process 2 is concerned, that is abnormal loss account. So how this abnormal loss account is prepared? The format is remain same. The format is remain same. So let's see, I prepare here the abnormal loss account. Okay, so the format is remain same. Now this abnormal loss is shown on the credit side of the process 2 account. So the another entry on the debit side of abnormal loss account to process 2 account. And what the amount? The units are 20 and the total amount is 1,000. Clear? Means this entry credit entry is transferred here on debit side. Correct? And it is loss, and loss is always sellable at the scrap value, and scrap value as I mentioned here it's a 4. Right? ને 4 રૂપિયાથી મલ્ટીપ્લાય કર્યું ને આપણે. ક્લિયર? પ્રોસેસ 2 ની સ્ક્રેપ વેલ્યુ કેટલી છે? 4 રૂપીસ. 90 ને 4 થી જ મલ્ટીપ્લાય કરેલા છે. તો અહીંયા બી આપણે 4 થી જ મલ્ટીપ્લાય કરીશું. એટલે ક્રેડિટ સાઈડ લખીશું બાય. ઓકે, એન્ડ વી સોલ્ડ ધીસ સ્ક્રેપ. આપણે આ સ્ક્રેપને વેચી કાઢીશું. તો બાય cash or bank, yeah, by sale proceeds by sale proceeds by cash या bank at the rate 4 ₹4 પ્રમાણે ગણો તો કેટલા રૂપિયા થાય 20 યુનિટના 80 રૂપિયા થાય ખાલી 80 rupees. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and now if I close this, then here 20 unit column total and the same 20 is the unit column total. Unit column is closed and in amount column here is 1,000, and if you put the same amount 1,000 on credit side, okay, then the difference is 920, and this 920 is known as by costing profit and loss account. Profit and loss account. And the amount is 920. So this is the procedure to prepare the abnormal loss account. So આ રીતે તમારું abnormal loss account તૈયાર થશે. I think it's a very simple thing. Okay, easily આપણે તૈયાર કરી શકીએ છીએ. Got it? Okay, now the third process, process 3 account. હવે આપણે નીચે બનાવીશું ત્રીજી process, third process, process 3 account. First of all, we transfer the goods from process 2. પહેલા process 2 માંથી માલ લાવીશું. Clear? So what the goods transfer 340 units at rupees 17,000. 340 યુનિટ અહીંયા ટ્રાન્સફર કરીશું અને 50 રૂપિયા પ્રમાણે that is 17,000. 17,000 રૂપિયા અહીંયા થઈ ગયું. Clear છે process 3 account નું. And then after the expenditures, material and wages and overheads, this is 1,025, 1,400, 1,400. ये तो direct लखी ज काढू છે. Clear? In the amount column 1,025, then after 25 is there, 25, then 1,400 and 1,400. Correct. And credit side, what is normal loss? Normal loss, how many percentage here? Normal loss percentage is 25% of input and 270 is output. चलो 25% of 340. 340 ना 25% करी.
85.
85 units. And the price is, scrap value is 5 rupees. So 85 multiply 5. 85 multiply 5.
425.
425. 425. Okay, this is at rupees 5. अब 5 रुपया प्रमाणे આપણે ગણીએ. At rupees 5. Okay. Next, now the final goods is transferred to by finished goods account. Finished goods account. Okay, and that unit is given 270. 270 આપેલા છે. Let's see, 270. Yes, very nice. 270. 270. But we don't know the amount. રકમ આપણને ખબર નથી. Abnormal gain, abnormal loss भी આપણને ખબર નથી. Clear? Now, tally your unit column. Unit column ને tally કરો. Which side total is more? This side 340 and this side 270 plus 85. How much? 270 માં 285 એડ કરીએ તો કેટલા થાય?
355.
355. And this side, credit side total is more. And if credit side total is more, and you will find the difference on debit side, so that is known as abnormal gain. એટલે અહીંયા abnormal gain આવ્યું છે. That is the 15 units. 15 unit નું abnormal gain છે. That is also known as effective gain. And effective gain પણ કહેવાય. So two, effective production या abnormal gain या abnormal production, abnormal gain, effective gain. Okay, abnormal gain, abnormal gain છે તમારે. Now how to calculate the cost of abnormal gain and the finished goods, right? both having the same amount same આવશે per unit, but it need to be calculated and calculate કરવી પડશે. How it is to be calculate? The formula is remain same above we calculate. ઉપર જે રીતે formula હતું ને, the same formula is required to be utilized here. અહીંયા પડાવશે. Clear? So normal cost divided by normal production. So here normal cost means total of this. And mind well, here we cannot write the total here because we don't know this figure. So after finalizing this amount, then after we will put this total here. So here you just make the total on your calci. हमारा calci पर total करो. 17,000 plus 1,025 plus 1,400 plus 1,400. What is the amount? Total करो तो बता. 70,000 plus 1,025 plus 1,400 plus 1,400.
20,825.
20,825 and minus the realization value of the normal loss, that is 425 divided by 340 and minus 85. Now let's solve it. So what the amount? 20,825 minus 425.
20,400.
400 and divided by 340 minus 85.
255.
255. Now what is the per unit cost? Per unit cost is
80.
80.
Yes.
80. 80. Okay, 80. So here this abnormal gain is rupees at the rate rupees 18. 80. And here is also at the rate rupees 80. At the rate rupees 80. Clear? So multiply it. 270 ने 80 થી multiply करो અને 15 ने भी 80 થી multiply करो. 15 into 80. 15 heads are 120 I think. 1200?
1200.
Yeah. And credit side 270 into 80.
21,600.
21,600. And now you should tally your final total. તો પહેલા તમારું 20,825 total આવતું હતું, એમાં 1200 plus કર દો. I think 22,025.
Yes.
22,025. And here also 22,025. Clear? So here this is your process 3 account. Our process 3 account ready. Okay. Now in this process 3 there is another thing is that is abnormal gain. So we are required to prepare the abnormal gain account. હવે તમારે abnormal gain account બનાવવું પડશે. Clear? And this is the most important thing, that abnormal gain, preparation of abnormal gain is the most important aspect or most important thing. And you must be remember one thing that I tell you, right? Let's see how we prepare it. Abnormal gain. Abnormal gain is also known as effective gain. Mind well, this is another name. And abnormal gain is on debit side of the process account. That's why we show here credit side by abnormal gain. No, not abnormal gain here. By process 3 account. Okay, we transfer the same amount 15 and 1,200. Okay, mind well, this is effective gain, means it is a good production, and good production never sold at the scrap value. The scrap value per વેચાય નહીં કોઈ દિવસ. But what actually happened here? So here your normal loss is reduced. Your normal loss is reduced. તમારું normal loss ઘટ્યું છે. 340 માંથી 85 જાય ને એટલું જ તમારે પ્રોડક્શન થવાનું હતું. મતલબ કે 270, 260, 255 નું જ તમારે પ્રોડક્શન થવાનું હતું. 255 is your expected production. પણ 255 ની જગ્યાએ 270 બન્યા એટલે 15 વધારે બન્યા છે. So it is called effective gain. અને એ સારું પ્રોડક્શન સારી કિંમતે વેચાય. But so it is ultimately known as reduction in normal loss. આજે 85 normal loss તમે ક્રેડિટ કરી દીધું છે એ એકચ્યુઅલી ઘટ્યું છે. So that's why this amount is transferred to the normal loss account, not it is sold out at the we can say a scrap value. લખાશે scrap value ઉપર જ ધ્યાન આપજો બરાબર. અહીંયા યુનિટ 15 જ આવશે. It is multiplied with the scrap value. Scrap value થી જ multiply થશે mind well, and that is 5 rupees per unit. So 15 into 5, that means 75 જ આવશે અહીંયા. Clear? So all the procedures are same like a abnormal loss, but instead of writing to cash or bank account, here we write to normal loss account. અહીંયા normal loss account લખાશે because it is reduction in normal loss. એ normal loss માં reduction છે. reduction in normal loss. આ normal loss માં reduction થયું છે. Clear? Normal loss, that means what? કે તમે 340 નાખ્યા છે 270 મળ્યા છે. That means what? Your loss is what? તમારા loss કેટલો થયો છે? તમારો 340 માંથી 70 270 તમને મળ્યા છે. મતલબ કે 340 minus 270 કરજો. 340 માંથી 270 જાય તો 70 છે ને?
Yes.
70 જ બગડ્યા છે. 70 જ બગડ્યા છે. 85 બગડવાના ધાર્યા હતા પણ 85 નહીં 15 ઓછા બગડ્યા છે. મતલબ કે 70 જ બગડ્યા છે. એટલે નોર્મલ લોસમાં ઘટાડો થયો છે એવું આપણે કહીશું. એટલે અહીંયા લખવાની જે મેથડ છે એના ઉપર ખાસ ફોકસ કરજો. કેશ એન્ડ બેંક લખશો તો ખોટું ગણાશે. બાકી તો જે રીતે પ્રોસિજર હોય સેમ ટુ સેમ જ છે. એન્ડ 2 costing profit and loss account. Profit and loss account. Okay, whatever the difference આવશે લખી દેવાનું તમારે. Clear? So here is a 15 and here is 1200. Same on the credit side, debit side, sorry, debit side भी एक रकम, and the difference is
1125.
25. 1125, that is considered as your profit. Okay, and that transfer to costing profit and loss account, and it is considered as loss, and loss is also debited to costing profit and loss account. Our costing profit and loss માં debit થશે જ્યારે costing profit and loss ની credit થશે. Clear? So this is the simple procedure to calculate the example with normal loss and abnormal loss. તો ગયા એક્ઝામ્પલમાં નોર્મલ એબનોર્મલ કશું જ નથી તો પર યુનિટનું કોલમ બનાવ્યું પણ અહીંયા પર યુનિટનું કોલમ ના બને. એ નોર્મલ લોસ અને એબનોર્મલ લોસ હોય ને એટલે કોલમ્સ તમારે આ રીતે તૈયાર કરવા પડે. સમજાય છે? આ રીતે રેડી કરવું પડે. અને નોર્મલ લોસ ને એબનોર્મલ લોસ એકાઉન્ટ કઈ રીતે બને છે એનું પણ પ્રોસિજર મેં તમને સમજાવ્યું. હવે તમારે કોઈ ક્વેશ્ચન હોય, if you are having any question, you can ask me.
Thank you.